Hi and welcome to the first lecture on the question, what is psychology? And the first thing that you might thinking of when you think about psychology is a guy lying on a bench with another guy sitting on the other side and basically listening and talking to that guy, right? That's what we all think a psychologist is. But actually, that's not really what a psychologist is. And there are three things that people typically confuse, which is psychologists, psychotherapists, and psychiatrist. So I want to walk you through what the differences between these three are. And I'm going to do that with a little analogy by using something that you're more familiar with, which is the distinction between biologist, physiotherapist, and medical doctor. So we all know what a biologist is. A biologist is somebody who studied biology. And for the sake of the example, let's say that this is a human biologist. So this is somebody who knows a lot about the human body. And then we may expect that this guy knows a lot about how our digestive system works, how our hormone system works, how our heart works. He just knows a lot about our body. But he doesn't necessarily know how to fix problems with our body. So say we have some pain in our body and we want it to be fixed. Then we may better be advised to go to a physiotherapist. The physiotherapist can diagnose the source of the pain, and then he can give us a massage or prescribe us some exercises that can hopefully get rid of the pain. Alternatively, we can also go to a medical doctor. And what the medical doctor may do is, for example, prescribe us some anti-inflammatory painkillers. This distinction between biologist, physiotherapist, and medical doctor is actually quite similar to the distinction between psychologist, psychotherapist, and psychiatrist. So, what's a psychologist? A psychologist is somebody who has studied psychology. And somebody who has studied psychology simply knows a lot about the mind, about the human mind. He knows how our perception works, he knows how our memory works, he knows how our emotions work. He just generally knows a lot about the human mind. But he doesn't necessarily know what to do if there's a problem. So say, for example, that you're having panic attacks. In that case, you may want to go to a psychotherapist. A psychotherapist is somebody who was trained in giving psychotherapy. And psychotherapy is kinda the physiotherapy for the mind. For example, the psychotherapist might teach you how to control your breathing, or he might teach you some meditative exercises that help you deal with your panic attacks. Alternatively, you may want to go to a psychiatrist. And a psychiatrist is actually nothing more than a medical doctor. It's a medical doctor with a specialization in psychological disorders. And what he will most likely do is prescribe you some medication. The psychiatrist is where you get your antidepressants, and the psychiatrist can also prescribe you something that will make you feel less anxious so that you can deal better with your panic attacks. So there you have it. That's the distinction between psychologist, psychotherapist, and psychiatrist. And in this course, we're going to look at psychology. So basically, I'm going to turn you a little bit more into a psychologist. And that means that we're going to look at how the human mind works. Now, I could tell you general definitions of what psychology is, but I don't find them particularly helpful. What I want to do instead is get right into the lectures and teach you right away what psychology is. So without further ado, let's get into the topic of psychology.